animal cruelty. It's stupid, it's bad, and I am so against it. But that's not what we're talking about today. We are going to be talking about something that's nearly as bad: book cruelty. Hi guys, welcome back to Ibby's Bookshelf. I'm Ibby, and we're going to be talking about book cruelty. 101 of book cruelty, I think almost everyone does, is mistreating books. They just leave it wherever and they really don't think about it. If you leave it on a windowsill on like a rainy day, sometimes the book can get really moist and wet, especially if it's really close to the window. So they don't mean to do it, but it still happens. You need to be a bit more careful with the books. I really don't like it when people mistreat books, which is why I always keep them safe in my bookshelf most of the time. Even I sometimes mistreat my books a bit. Number 2 of mistreating and book cruelty is future holders. So if you have a book at the moment and you write in it, make notes for maybe studies or something like that, that's completely fine because you're doing it for your benefit. But if you have done all this stuff in it, until you fix all those scribbles you've made, you should not give it away, because the future holder is going to have a really tough time reading it, unless it's also for their benefit that you've made the notes for. So you need to be very careful with books for when people in the future, they take the books. So future holders. And I have had my own personal experience, which is so relatable to Harry Potter. So those of you who have read Harry Potter, in the Half-Blood Prince, Harry gets a book. It's a potions book it's a hand-me-down. Someone has made notes in it, and they're good notes, and he uses them to become better in the lesson. Now, recently, I've got a book. It's also a hand-me-down, and someone has made notes on almost every single page in pencil and underlined stuff. So I have my own copy of the Half-Blood Prince. Only thing is, I kind of find it annoying because all these notes, I've read some of them and they are good notes, but it makes it quite difficult for me to read the actual book, especially the underlinings. So when I'm reading this book, I have to be sat down with a rubber in my hand so I can rub out all this stuff. It's like a 500-page book, and I've only managed to rub out like 20 pages, so this is gonna take a while. But you need to think about future holders and how they are going to feel about having their books like this. Some of them might completely not care. It's got scribbles in it and they really don't care. But others find it really annoying and appalling. Me. That's me. And my little experience is what inspired this week's video on book cruelty. That being said, future readers are really important, but don't forget about the past readers. If you have taken a book from someone else, it has been lent to you, and they ask for it back in pristine condition. So if it's like brand new and they ask for it back in the pristine condition, a scruffy dust jacket and dog ears are not pristine in the slightest. Okay, dog ears is like the corners of a book when they've been curled or bent and folded, like, dog ears, how they're flopping over. that. Yeah, like that. That is not pristine condition. Okay? Now, my next point is there are books that have been well loved, well read, but you do not, and I mean do not, manhandle those books, because that's not well loving them. You don't start using the books as, you don't pile up books as steps or use them as plates or coasters, because that's just not right. That's not well loving your books. Those aren't sign of read or usage. That's just completely manhandling them, and it's horrible. Now, making notes in books and little stuff is fine, but you do not ink the entire page. I sound like a teacher, a really obsessive teacher, but I mean it. You don't start doing that sort of stuff, because it is really annoying for the owner. And if you've done all this stuff and you give it to someone else, they are going to be disgusted at what you have done. Because it's, like I just said, it's disgusting when you do that sort of stuff. I get really annoyed if I get a book and that has been done to it, or someone has done that to one of my books. Like, I had Anna and Elsa book when I was little. My brother took colour pencils and he scribbled right across almost all the pages. I was really annoyed. I still have that book. I don't throw away my books. But he did that and I was really annoyed at that. Has that ever happened to you? A little brother or sister, instead of scribbling on the walls, which I would have much preferred, they start scribbling in your books? Because it has happened to me. So, love like humans is my next point. You have your family and friends, and you love them. Your books are your friends. They take you to other places. They give you joy and emotions. Do you start taking your friends and putting them under your pillow, beating them up horribly, and doing all sorts of stuff to them? You do not do that. So you do not do that to your books. It is just horrible, because those books, they are your friends and you're meant to love them. Signs of usage like the odd crinkle or, crease here and there, that's expected. And sometimes you might have a few separations in the spine. That's expected from a well-read and loved book. But dog ears, ripped pages, and other such stuff, it's bad. You're not meant to do that. It's like, say I saw this somewhere else. I am not taking credit for this idea, but say a string of pearls. You wear them constantly every day, but you do not care for them. Soon they all become chipped and dull. Now you can stop that if those string of pearls, you carefully and softly wipe them down every day. You keep them safe in their cases. If you do that, you can have them for longer and they'll look better. It's the same with books, but creases along the corners of the books to mark the page. That's what most people's excuse are, but you have bookmarks for a reason. If you don't have a bookmark, you can really use anything to bookmark it. Just like from another piece of paper, a strip, just cut a small piece of paper, scrap, you put it in there and you've got your bookmark. It doesn't need to be anything elaborate or fancy, but you have bookmarks for a reason. That's one of the thing that I am really annoyed. It's a small thing, but it really annoys me. So that's my last point. Yeah. Okay, so I've just got this owl face on for fun at the end of the video. It's been a very serious video with me telling you off, so I've just done this to lighten the mood a bit. And I also wanted to say at the end of the video that school has started up again. For me, it started on Thursday, and with school and my madrasa starting up, even though I only have madrasa once a week, face to face, it's going to be a lot harder for me to upload my videos. So I just wanted to warn you about that, and Twitter, bye.